She told her fiance, who was not at the event, on day one, she called him and said, you have to get on a plane. You have to come to the rest of this event. I can tell you, if you attack anything with the wrong attitude, it won't help. People are attracted to people that are learning and wanting to do stuff. They're also attracted to people that are just good people.
This episode of The Insurance Stream is brought to you by Viva Virtual Assistants. Get $300 off your virtual assistants when you schedule a consultation by September 30th. With Viva, you can save over 60% of the cost of hiring a full-time employee. Visit them online at vivavs.com. That's Viva, V-I-V-A, VS.com.
We're going to go ahead and get rolling. I know we got more hopping in throughout, but we want to be respectful of your guys' time, and we got plenty to cover. And Cody and I, we know how to talk a little bit, so we want to make sure we got enough time to get through everything. So
right.
As we get rolling, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves a little bit. So those of you guys haven't seen us before, maybe this is your very first time, in which case it is your very first time hopping on a webinar or live with us. Go ahead and write first in the comments. This is your very first time joining us. We'd love to know, love to welcome you. We got team members that love to get you guys some resources, some trainings and stuff. Just write first if it's your very first time hopping on. And if you're a Marketing for Insurance regular, you've hopped on our live webinars for a while, you check them out, you're here again, just write MFIA for Marketing for Insurance Agents. Glad to have you guys back. So with that, who are these guys and what are they doing and why am I here? I'm David Denning, one of the founders of Jumpstart Go. We run the Marketing for Insurance Agents Facebook group, which most of you guys are a part of, 27,000 insurance agents, and we create that as a resource for you guys. Grow, scale, connect with each other. We do weekly training, 6 p.m. Eastern time, so come join us, just like this one. And we do work with agents inside of our programs, like the Closers Click. We work with a couple hundred agencies on growing and scaling their businesses, and up and scaling their commissions and sales. So with that, Cody, I'd love if you give yourself a little brief intro as well, and we'll get rolling.
Yeah, brother. Thank you so much for having me. I love this group, man. It's blowing up. 27,000. Like, how impressive is that? If you are new to me, I'm excited to be here. Love David and Elle and everything they're doing. I have been in the industry since I was 19, technically since I was born. My dad's been in the business 32 years. I got in the business when I was 19 as an intern, 20 as an agent. I sold life insurance door to door with no leads, cold door knocking, cold calling. If you're doing that or you've done that, you know what that's all about. And I was going to college playing basketball, full-time student athlete. Long story short, I made $117,000 in my first 8 months, fell in love with the business at 20 and thought, man, I want to do this forever. And then shortly after that, I got like exposed to like helping some agents, which I loved. And I thought, you know what, if I can ever help more people, I would love to do that. Also, my grandfather's a Baptist pastor, so I've got a little speaking background in me. I think I really inherited that from him, and now I speak a ton. Love what I do. Back at the end of 2015, we started putting out content about 6.5 years ago to help insurance agents. That's grown to we have hundreds of thousands of agents around the world following our channel or whatever, you know, different social media platforms, email list, etc. And I get to show up, have fun, speak a lot, help some people, and get to hang out with David Denning on a Monday night.
Fun times, fun times. So before I hop in, what we're going to cover with you guys tonight, I'm going to brag a little more on Cody as well. He gave you a brief overview, but a few of his accomplishments. Cody's the founder of 8% Nation, which you can see right behind him. He's also the CEO of Cody Askins, LLC, co-owner of Secure Agent Marketing, speaker, entrepreneur, author of 0 to 6 Figures, the creator of Cody Askins YouTube channel, which is over 72,000 subscribers. So big congrats on that, Cody. 100,000 on the way. Cody owns and operates 6 companies totaling, I feel like it's even more than that, totaling more than 10 million in annual revenue. And he's also the founder of the 8% Movement and 8% Nations Conference, which we're going to be talking about in a little bit, coming up at the end of next month. The industry's largest event for insurance agents to attend. We were there last year, absolutely loved it. It's amazing. You don't want to miss it. And at the end of tonight, we'll talk about how you can come attend yourself as well. So we're really excited to hop in with you guys. Do want to let you guys know, please ask any and all questions throughout in the comments. Please make sure to click everyone when you submit it so we can grab it. and we're going to do a bit of Q&A at the end. But if you want your question answered, you got to drop it in the comments. So please make sure to do that, and we will get those answered for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick, and we will get rolling. So tonight, we're going to be talking all about growing your business with industry events. So, that's something Cody knows very intimately, and I absolutely have had huge impacts from the events, both inside this industry and outside this industry as well. So we're going to talk about how do you get the most out of those? How do you leverage those? How do you use those for your business? So in the comments, let me know, have you ever attended an industry event, conference, whether it's 8% Nation, another one? Let us know. I'd love to hear either, yes, I've attended conferences, and maybe mention a few ones you attended, and not yet if you haven't. Because tonight we're going to talk about why you should be attending industry conferences. So with that, we're glad to have you guys as a part of here. I got to update this number because it's growing so quick. But if
yes,
you're not,
you do.
I know it keeps growing, so I got to update this thing every so often here. But if you're not already a part of Marketing for Insurance Agents, go ahead and hop in there. Like I said, we do these every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'd love to have you guys there. So with that, we're going to be talking all about how to leverage these events for growth and success in your business. And there's a ton of takeaways. So the very first thing we're going to talk about is strategic referral partners, and how can industry events help with that and with connections. So Cody, I love, in fact, I'm going to go ahead, we'll come back to it. I'd love to talk a little bit about that. So Cody, how have you seen 8% Nation and other events as well used for forming strategic referral partner relationships?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like our buddy Joe Campert would be a good example.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, from Redwood, a lot of people know Joe. He's super active on Facebook. He's good friends with you guys. He's in MFIA all the time and everywhere. And we didn't know each other. And about mid 2020, we knew of each other, right? Because he's super active. We started learning about each other. Our team reached out and said, "Hey, we'd love to have you come be a part of our first ever Power Player networking retreat." That was in August of 2020, which is crazy because it feels like it was farther along ago than that. And he gets his dad, David, to come with him, and they come, and you look at their business, you look at the relationships, you look at the connections they've made, the strategic partnerships. He's getting referrals every single day because of that group. I mean, if you think about it, can you be successful sitting in a bubble and not talking to anyone? Probably so, right? Especially if you're a special human being. A lot of you guys are. However, if you believe that you still have more to learn, if you believe that meeting and connecting with some of the right people, if you believe hanging out with David and Elle and other people and getting to pick their brain could potentially, possibly, maybe, hopefully help your business, then getting into those events can and will do that. And so I know for what we do, it's crazy how connected we are across the industry now, but it's simply because of, I went to a conference in early 2018. I don't share this a lot, but I feel like it was fitting. I went to a conference in early 2018. I paid $15,000 for 2 tickets to sit front row. And my wife and I had never spent that amount of money on an event. And you don't have to spend that amount of money to go to 8%, by the way. But I just knew, I felt like I needed to go to this thing. I pulled the trigger and I went. And I was way outside of my comfort zone, way outside of my budget. And on the way home, I'm like, gosh, I hope this is good. Crap, I hope this is successful. Hopefully we make some connections. Hopefully our business evolves. Hopefully we get somewhere because of this investment, right? And we've all been that way. Well, I know that because of that event, not only did it open my mind, it allowed me to think bigger. It allowed me to really realize what my limiting beliefs were. And it helped me start 8%. Because we talked about events. This will be our 5th 8% Nation. We're expecting 2,000 in attendance, which is insane. It's grown. It's awesome. It's fun. Yeah, thanks, brother. It's been great. It's been really cool. But if you think about it, we had to get outside of our comfort zone and start it. Well, why would we want to start something like this? Well, it's for anybody to attend. A lot of the conferences and events that are industry conferences are put on by a certain IMO or a certain carrier, or their plan is to recruit you once you get there or whatever, right? Well, I know MFIA is not like that. I know I'm not like that, right? We're just here to connect and collaborate and network, which is why I love what they do. Well, I know that also our industry is kind of old. Like, let's be honest, like the average age is 59. Most of the conferences, there's no music, there's awkward silence. You're walking in, there's an organ playing in the corner and you're like, what, there, there's no stage, there's a pulpit. Like the person doesn't move and they just stand there and read. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, is this what is this? And it's still all over the place, by the way. But I knew our industry needed to evolve, right? Millennials need to be excited about this space. It needs to get younger. It needs to be fun. And so ours will have 2,000. We'll have a center stage in the middle of the room. It's more entertainment style. It's almost like a Bon Jovi concert. If you like Bon Jovi, I don't really listen to music, but that's a popular name. It's like a Bon Jovi concert meets insurance, right? It's sexy. It's attractive. There's lights. There's fireworks. There's smoke. There's fog. There's CO2 guns going off. Like, it's nuts. In fact, the CO2, the little fog and smoke, we let it out at the 8% conference this past year to start the event. They forgot to shut off the, and it broke the AC for the whole first day, right? Well, those are things that you learn, but what's crazy about it is, like, I love going to events and being around people. We make connections and learn even when they're our own events, right? We did clear that with the fire marshal. They meant to shut it off. What's funny is too, Amy brings another good point. And I believe Amy and I have met. Amy, it's interesting. Last year, the fire marshal, like, cause I walked out to start the event and there was people standing on the side of the room. And I'm like, do you guys not have a seat? Like, and they didn't. Well, we had more show than we ever expected. We tapped out the Statler event and the fire marshal came and rearranged the seating 3 times. Right? Well, that's because it's not a recruiting event. It is an event to make you think bigger about your life. It's an event to get you connections that you desperately need. It's an event to give you strategies and ideas to really start to think bigger and scale your business. And so I love them. That was a long way around of saying that, like, they're phenomenal. If you want to learn and you're craving being better, they will help you be better. They just will.
And if you want to meet others that are wanting to learn to be better, to grow and scale, these are the things that those people go to. Cody, phrase you all use all the time is your net worth is in your
That's right, network.
Right. So, and that's exactly where you go, why you go to these events. As part of it is building that network and having these conversations. Like, Cody, the whole thing is named after the 8% that make it in this industry, that succeed, that do well, that help others grow their businesses. And, that 8%, they know the other 8%. They connect and they collaborate, they share. And that's one thing Cody is a prime example of, is collaboration, growth, very well connected, and all kinds of opportunities come out of connections. So if you're looking to grow your insurance business, you're looking to learn from others, you're looking for mentors, you're looking for people just to collaborate with, maybe you do different lines of insurance. And maybe you're even from the same town, it's a wealth of information and knowledge, but also it's, one of the biggest takeaways is by far the connections. I'm going to see people there. I can see people that I've seen online and on Facebook for years, but maybe have never met in person. And we all know that meeting in person is totally different than meeting online. So, Cody, that's got to be similar for you. You see so many people all the time across the internet space, but actually get to see them in real life, I'm sure is big.
Dude, it's a whole nother level of that relationship, man. Like, it's so powerful, right? Because this group is so insanely big. It's incredible. It's the top Facebook group in the industry for life, health, whatever, right? Like, it's focused. It's incredible. Imagine if we get all 26,900 or 27,000, whatever it is now, right? It probably grew to like 28,000 since we've been on the call. It's exploded. I can tell you this. If we got them all in like AT&T Stadium, all in Cowboys Stadium, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so we'll use that as an example. Imagine the connections and relationships and strategic partnerships and referral partnerships that would come out of something like that. Well, we're not going to get all 27,000 to show up at the same time, same place, same day, etc. However, we can get a good majority that want to learn, that want connections, that are craving help, that know they have another gear, they have another level, they want to raise their potential in this industry, and they want to do something special. Those that want to do something special, they'll find a little extra craziness and special and insanity at 8%, and they'll really connect with it.
Absolutely. And so, and talking with that, and well, I mean, overall in general, but then also with this, you know, intention of forming strategic partner relationships or being open to that, and making those connections and networking. What would you say that people coming to events in general, but also 8% Nation in particular, what kind of intention should they have coming into these events? What kind of, how should they kind of prepare in order to get the most out of this? And what should they kind of expect to do once they get there in order to get the most out of it?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal, which you can tell he's done this like 8,000 times, dude. Great freaking question. I know that attitude, your attitude when you enter something, it's kind of like your day, right? In insurance, like you have a crappy attitude, you wake up the wrong side of the bed. You're like, I hate life. I can't do this. I'm not going to call anybody. This is terrible. You're going to wake up and you're going to go through your day and you're just going to halfway do it. And it's probably going to suck, right? Same for events. If you have a bad attitude, I'm like, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm going to my room. I'm not going to the parties. I like this speaker's, I mean, they're talking about going to $1 million. I don't want to do that. You know, if that's the attitude you have, I can tell you, if you attack anything with the wrong attitude, it won't help. So once you attack the right attitude, then you become open and exposed to learning more, right? Well, learning is really important, but you've got to be able to accept and want information and know that the plan is to actually learn something. So learning is big, but you got to know, then you got to know what you want to learn. Well, really, the second piece is once I'm like, okay, my attitude's right and I'm going to learn something. Okay, great. Then what problems in your business do you want to solve? Like, what do you need to learn? If there's 1, 2, 3 top things that you will learn at 8% Nation this year, that you could learn, that you want to learn, you'll have a better chance of actually learning them by saying, hey, I'm going to learn them, right? And then third is the people. You need to have a list of specific people that you want to network with, that you want to meet, that you want to hang out with. And I can't promise it'll be Tim Tebow and Ed Milet and Jesse Itzler the whole time, but it can at least be David Ditting and Cody Askins, right? In L, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? You can determine the people that you're around. But if you have the right attitude, you want to learn, you decide what you want to learn. Then you take it one step farther and you're like, I'm going to go meet the Dennings. Then it's like, okay, I learned, wow, okay, I'm solving some problems and I'm meeting the right people. You will leave, and it don't even matter if you were to spend 15 grand like I did years ago, you'll come out of that thinking, dude, how could I not get 15 grand back, right? And so, yes, phenomenal question.
Love it. I love highlighting that the amount of value you will receive and get out of an event will be directly correlated to the intention that you come in to that event, whether it's who you're meeting, what you want to learn. And I love that is entering into events and things with intentions, not necessarily expectations. Expectations is now out of your control and you're putting it in someone else's control to meet those expectations, but intentions, that's under your direct control of what you can control going in and directly influencing those results and value. So excellent points, Cody. Absolutely love it. Look forward to it. Guys, let us know in the comments. Is that making sense? Do you get it? Do you get the importance of coming into things? And now this goes beyond just 8% Nation events in general. This goes for your whole business, but coming into things with intentions and having plans and what you want to see come out of things. And when you do that, you're going to get better results. Let me know. So,
that's good.
Right. Yes, if that's making sense, if you're tracking, you're getting value out of this. In the comments, and please, I see most people have comments interactive, but let us drop some comments or drop some questions. So we got some questions for the Q&A later. So please go ahead and drop those. So that was with the strategic referral partners and coming in. And so think about who you want to connect with. How do I want to connect with them? What do I want out of that? How do I provide value to them? Right? Like, you know, everybody's me, but if you come in providing value to someone else, that's when a true connection starts to form. A friendship starts to form. We talk about business all the time, but how many close friendships come out of this industry? So, you know, come in, guys, prepared to make a lot of friends, connections, and it's okay to dive deep with a fewer amount of people than trying to meet everybody very briefly. You know, find some people that you really connect with and dive deep. So, with that, Let's talk about industry events and recruiting opportunities, connection opportunities. And, some of you guys may think, oh, like, coming to an event to get recruited, talking about forming connections for your own agency, your own relationships in the future as well, and opportunities there too. So we're going to talk about this a little bit as well. So diving in here, a lot of people don't think about, as they're meeting people, connecting with people, the opportunities that are there, because not everybody does the same lines of insurance. Maybe they're now seeing and open to the opportunity of expanding what their offerings are. Maybe they just don't have certain products, but honestly, it's the connections and who they're working with. That sort of stuff is what better. We're not even talking about like recruiting right now for someone to come join your agency or team, but setting up that value in that relationship that they may be coming in down the line as well, or sending people to you as referrals as well, knowing who to connect to. So, Cody, can you talk about a little bit about that and the relationships, the connections that form industry events that way too?
Yeah, I mean, it really ties back to the industry as a whole, right? So we talk about value first, okay? So let's just say that you joined a networking group, okay? And is your expectation that you're going to give them referrals, or that you're going to walk in and everybody's just going to flood you with referrals, whether they know anything about you, know what you do, or whether you bring value or not, right? Well, if you walk into a referral group and you pay money, whether you don't pay money, whatever, local group, BNI, mob, doesn't matter. You create your own like my father did, and you walk in. If your intention is, I'm not going to keep showing up and I'm not going to provide referrals until somebody gives me some referrals. Like if that's the posture, I can guarantee you, you should not even show up for the networking group. Right? So here's my goal to provide value to you for this year, okay, for 8%. I'll bring value first, then I'll talk through a few other ideas. My goal is that you walk in on the very first day, 5 minutes before the event starts, and you get in the room and you see the room, and just the energy, just the walk in as you're smiling and meeting people, and the music's freaking blaring, and there's lights going everywhere. And we haven't even started yet. You walk in and say, I think I'm home. I think I should have been here my whole career. I can't imagine ever missing this. Just the walk, I can guarantee you will give you a bigger vision for your specific company and business and future. Now, are we going to keep dropping bombs and bring a ton of crazy amount of value? 1,000%. However, that's my intention of setting it up from such a great production element, such a show, so many incredible speakers, such big names, and so many, like 84 breakouts and multiple parties and hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on massive names and $1 million total event budget. Like I'm bringing plenty of value first, that when someone gets in the room, I guarantee you they will get value back. Now, once you're there, it's kind of funny. Those other opportunities that David was talking about a second ago do start to evolve. So what starts to evolve? Well, once you're present and you start showing up, you start getting in the room, people start recognizing you, start building relationships, you start interacting on Facebook and online, and you start meeting people at parties, and you start friending people, start messaging and texting, whatever. It's kind of funny. The more you show up and the more you're present and the more you start to do this, they start to see you. And then when they start to see you, your whole world opens up. Okay, I'll give you a good example. My buddy Tony Merwin.
Tony.
He had not been to 8%. He was given a ticket. This was back in 2019. What's funny is he was given a free ticket. He sat in the back of the room. Now he's speaking on stages with me. He spoke at all 10 cities, all 10 road shows. He was the only speaker to speak at all 10 road shows. But I had to bring some value first. Someone had given him a ticket, and he shows up, and then wow, his whole world opens up. Well, he says that his business has more than quadrupled over literally the last 24 to 30 months, just because of simply getting in that room called 8%, where 92% fell in the first 3 years. He got in that room, and the connections and networking he made exploded his business, exploded his brand, and now so many people know Tony Merwin. Well, here's another example. Jessie Park, friend of mine. She's speaking on the road shows. She's speaking main stage 8%. She lives in Orlando. She's not too far from the Dennings, I guess. And she loves the sun, and she always bragging and showing me all the flipping palm trees and stuff that I'm missing out on in Missouri. Okay. However, she sat back of the room VIP last year. Okay. Well, what's interesting about this past year, and the AC went out, and she was sweating, and she makes a lot of money. She did 45 million in premium 2 years ago and 60 million in premium last year. Okay. So she probably should be sitting wherever she wants, right? Well, she's like sweating because the AC went out, but she's loving the event. Well, there's two things that happened. One, she told her fiance, who was not at the event, on day one, she called him and said, "You have to get on a plane. You have to come to the rest of this event." He missed the first day. He wasn't even there, and he still showed up, which was incredible. Then two, now she's speaking on the road shows. She's going from the back of the room to actually speaking on stage. Well, if we don't bring value and put the opportunity out there, and then if she doesn't bring value back and show up and do her thing and network and really network her way into some high level relationships, then who knows what she would be doing, what we would be doing together, or where she would sit. But that's an incredible example of like bringing value, getting in the room, showing up, and how this whole network can explode everything you're doing. It is the network. And this is a little of an aggressive comment, but I get excited, and why not? Okay. I can't think of an industry event, an industry conference, or all these connections that did not start there. Okay. And I bet David would say, dude, that's probably 95% true, right? Well, if that's the case, maybe when the door opens, maybe you don't just think about it, man. Maybe you freaking run through it too.
Love it. Love it. And so powerful. So many connections have come out of there. So many friendships, business relationships, partnerships, as we talked about the strategic referral side. And then so many opportunities that people see of, you know what? I absolutely love this person. I'd follow them into the earth. Like, that's who I want to do business with. That's who I want to work with. That's also, Cody's talking about learning to bring value, attract people to yourself. And by leveling up yourself, your agency, your business, making it more attractive to others because it is growing, it's succeeding. People want to come work with people that are on the incline, that are growing, that are succeeding, right, that see the value of continuing to grow and benefit. And that's what you're doing. You come to a conference and you're growing and learning to how do I attract people through providing value, and how do I form these relationships? So, dude, so powerful.
There's been so many people. This is such a good example that you just said. There's so many people that just wear the Apers Nation backpacks, okay, and they wear them around the airport. And someone comes up to them and says, "What is 8%?" Oh, I'm glad you asked. And then they literally get into an insurance conversation, and they've sold insurance in the airport just because they were wearing an insurance backpack, right? Some type of branding, whether it's mine or yours or whoever's, right? Well, it's interesting that happens. Also, too, you mentioned something else a second ago. People are attracted to people that are learning and wanting to do stuff, but they're also attracted to people that are just good people. And I can tell you this, we had a bunch of first in the chat for the webinar, okay? And they don't need me to say this, but I can tell and I can feel it, and I've known the Dennings for years, even though we haven't hung out every 14 hours. I can tell you this, they are good people that you can trust, that have big hearts, that care, and that continue to show up. They've been showing up with this whole group thing for like at least 4 or 5 years, multiple times a day, hundreds of times a day. Like, they show up for their group better than any other group leaders that I've ever been around. And we don't know, we're not best friends yet. Okay, BFFLs, right? We're getting there. But I can tell you this, they're just really, really good people.
Appreciate that, Cody. So, and we're really excited to be back at 8% Nation next month. So we're really, really looking forward to it. Even though we got to leave Florida for a little bit, but it's 1,000 degrees here. So good time to leave and come to Texas. So looking forward to it. Can't bring the palm trees with us, but we'll have Cody come down to Florida for some palm trees.
There you go.
So with that though, now I think we're going to get to the next point, which I think is one of the most important points, because you go to the events, you meet people, you have intentions, you form these connections, whether referrals, future opportunities, people working with you, you learned a bunch. And especially with all these people you've met and interacted with. And so the successful follow-up is key. So how often, and I'll come back to this, is how often do people go to events, conferences? They're almost like conference junkies, industry event junkies almost. They go, they're hyped up for a couple days, and then it all fades away as the energy's gone. And all those people they met, they don't see again until the next time they attend the conference. And like, hey, I was giving you last time. I know we meant to talk. We never made that happen. And so the follow-up is key, guys, because that's where the true value comes out of these connections, relationships you made is, do you continue talking? Do you set up meetings? Do you have these conversations? Do you explore these opportunities? Do you explore these referral relationships? Do you put what you learned at the conference into action? Do you implement? Cody's got 80 plus breakout sessions, plus main stage speakers, and all this stuff going on 8% Nation. There's so much to learn, so many people to meet, so much to put in place in your business. But if you leave and you go back to the same old, nothing changed. You know, you might as well not have come to the conference because you didn't do anything, right? So I mean, that's the point. Is you got to implement, right? So Cody, can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, hey, if people came to 8%, what happens after?
Yes, absolutely. When you think about follow up, right? Like that's something that the industry struggles with as a whole. It's follow up. It's following up with when a good opportunity arises. So I'll give you an example. Okay, I like painting pictures when I can. If you sell, let's just say you sell life insurance and you're on this call. Now, I'm sure there's leads that bought life insurance from somebody else that you weren't ever able to get a hold of and that you weren't ever able to follow up with, or you just didn't get in front of them and they bought from somebody else, okay? Also, but let's just say that, let's take it a step further and say that you sold them a policy. You got a hold of someone, you sold them a policy. They passed away and you had a check sitting in your hands for $100,000 for their kids. How hard would you follow up then? Would you just go the normal average of 0 to 2 calls? Or would you stop by their house like 14 times, 140 times? Would you text them 7,000 times? Would you call the mayor? Would you have the police stop by their house, right? Would you just live on their front porch? Like, what type of extents would you go to if you had a big old check just sitting there waiting for them? Well, it's also kind of interesting because at conferences and events, there is a follow-up piece. Most people follow up way too light, but you're like, well, Cody, you know, I don't want to get outside my comfort zone, or I don't do this, or I don't do that. I can tell you this, like, growth happens when you get out of your comfort zone. We hear this all the time. Well, in what ways you get outside of your comfort zone? If that forces you outside of your comfort zone, then that's great. That's actually good. When you're at the party and you see somebody and you're like, there's the Dennings, I need to go talk to them. And you're like, but I'm an introvert and I'm shy and I don't know if they may not like me and I don't know if I should do that. You should just do it anyway, okay? Also, too, though, even to add to the follow-up piece, there's follow-ups to learning. There's follow-ups when speakers are saying to read books. Maybe read the book, right? When they're like, when you hear the Dennings in their breakout session and they're speaking and they're sharing ideas and strategies and you have a chance to implement what they're saying, do you follow up and put in the work to actually implement it? Or does it just like go over your head and you just go back to life as normal? Because the connections are amazing. They will last your whole life. But if you can learn tangible stuff that can immediately make you additional revenue and make you a bunch of money, you're like, well, Cody, it ain't all about money. It's not. But unless you get a bunch of money, you can't help anybody, right? You can't even help your own family, okay? So if this gives you a bigger vision to create some generational wealth and help a bunch of people and give you some strategies that you can follow up with, some people that you can follow up with, right? And some things that you can do to evolve your business, then it was a home run, whether it was inside your comfort zone or not.
Love it. And guys, you know, why your core value may not be the money portion, the accumulating the wealth, what growing your business, growing your agency, growing your staff, what you're doing, what that allows you to do is accomplish what is your core mission and goals, which is helping others, helping more people become insured, helping other people grow their incomes and their businesses, and have these same type of opportunities. If Cody was still in this industry by himself with no team, 8% Nation would, I mean, he would probably still find a way to make 8% Nation happen, but he might not survive it. But, you know, growing this team, growing this influence, growing these different companies what he's able to do, that really allows you to have the type of impact that you want to have. So, think about it in your own business. It doesn't necessarily have to be necessarily on the same scale, but growing and scaling your team, what you're doing, helping others, helping the insureds. I mean, guys, we're not selling widgets here. Like, you are selling things that make a vast impact on people's lives, families, finances, futures. And so you owe it to them. And especially as that's the core mission most people get in this industry, is to help others, especially because they maybe had a bad situation happen in their own lives or their family's lives or friends' lives that encourage them, that's why they got in. Well, in order to have that impact, you got to have that growth. And in order to have that growth, you got to learn what's put in place. You got to make connections. You got to put things in place. And that's what we're talking about. So, Cody, I would love if you can give, once again, some kind of the highlight overview of the 8% Nation Conference. I know we've mentioned it throughout. We've talked a little bit about what goes on there a little bit, but if you can kind of highlight those for those who have not attended. If you have attended 8% Nation before, write me in the comments if you've attended before. I'd love to know who's attended before. And if you haven't attended, write not yet, because we're going to see you at the end of next month, and we're about to show you how we can see you at the end of next month. So, Cody, I'd love if you can once again give a highlight of the conference.
Yeah, and I am curious, by the way. I love the me's and not yets. This is helping me. Okay.
See Larry Buckaloo. Yeah, I'll see
Buckaloo.
You there, man.
You know what to do.
You know what to
do.
Buckaloo,
baby. Come on now. It's so catchy, bro. Every time I think of him, I just think of that. Okay. They talk about taglines. What's up, Tanya? What's up, Kevin? Appreciate that. So 8% is a sales and marketing conference specifically, thank you, Allison, meant for insurance agents to come together, collaborate, network, learn, and explode and grow their business. Our personal goal for this year's event is to 3x your revenue, 3x your profits, and 3x your leads in only 3 days, right? And we have a whole campaign we did with me in a magician's suit and all this stuff, right? Because you would think to triple something in 3 days sounds like magic. Well, it doesn't mean you're going to immediately triple in the first 72 hours. But we have so many testimonials of people that have came. They've heard from, they've heard from huge names, right? Ray Lewis, Grant Cardone, Eric Thomas, Patrick Bet-David, Darren Woodson. They're going to hear from Tim Tebow this year. Like, there's been tons of massive names, Jordan Belfort, et cetera, et cetera. However, it's kind of interesting because when I go to events, my goal is, like we said earlier, people and ideas. Well, I don't know about you, but when I'm around people that think bigger, I get more creative. When I'm around people that think bigger, I get bigger ideas. And so our goal for this year for you is for you to show up, for you to be a part of the parties, the welcome, maybe the golf on Wednesday, maybe the welcome party on Wednesday night, right? Maybe the breakout sessions on Thursday, the main stage Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the VIP party Thursday night, the diamond party Friday night. Maybe you want to end up coming to the speaker dinner on Saturday night. Like, it's a whole several days of stuff, right? And the hotel is selling out very quickly. Emerald City is an incredible band. Yes.
That is Emerald City by itself. I mean, last year I was blown away. I was like, this is the best, like, cover band, whatever. I don't know how to describe them. Cover band, whatever, ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
They're a cover band. They're the #1 cover band. They've played for every living president. They play for the Dallas Cowboys. They played for Oprah. Like, all of this is completely top notch. Like, you go to a lot of events. If you do, I can tell you that there's very few, if any, that put the amount of production and money behind the experience that we do. Like, if you're like, okay, what event do I have to go to that will absolutely blow every other event out of the water, and I can confidently say it, and I would say from anybody else's stage, it is this one. Well, you've got to think too. I mean, what do you need to get to evolve? Well, I'm wondering if you've reached your potential, right? If you have an ego, or there's a pride in the way, or you're like, I don't need to learn anything, or I'm great, or I'm happy with where I'm at and I don't want to grow, this is probably not for you. Okay, but if you know you have more in the tank, if you know you got another level and you want to scale something bigger that's not all about you forever, I can promise you, you will love this year.
Love it, love it. And Elle and I will be one of 80+ breakout sessions there. We'll be talking about how to utilize Facebook groups to grow and scale your business. So if you want to come hear that, a bunch of other amazing breakout sessions, amazing stuff that Cody's got planned for main stage, including one of our good buddies, David Price. They're really excited hop on. Maybe I'll even catch a pass from Tim Tebow. I don't know. We can dream. So really, really excited. So guys, let's talk about how you get there and how are we going to save you guys a bunch of money too. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. You guys can use the QR code. So grab your phone, hold it up, scan the QR code if you'd like, if you're at your computer. Otherwise, Elle will be dropping the link in the chat as well. You could just click on that link. I'll show you in just a second where that'll take you to. But this is where you can grab all the presentation resources from tonight. We got some other case studies we put together and send you guys over to, as well as we'll get you the link for the 8% Nation ticket, which is exciting because we're going to save you guys $400 on the tickets as well for those. So really excited. You're not going to find, well, go ahead and grab your tickets now and go ahead and book your flight, and we'll see you guys in Dallas. So really looking forward to it. So when you use that QR code or the link that Elle dropped in the chat, it'll bring you here. And so this is where you'll get the resources as well as the link to sign up for the 8% Nation conference. You save $400 in tickets there for the VIP. And then I'm sure, Cody, if you'd like to upgrade your tickets, I can make that arranged for you as well.
Yes.
He's got plenty of options for you guys, but they've actually, it's going to be the biggest attended one ever. And I'm really excited because I thought it was packed last year. So somehow they found some more room. So really excited. So presentation resources as well. And also a case study on how one insurance agent's using conferences, events, and different stuff to run their business as well. So you can see Elle and I at the last one, and we look forward to seeing you guys at this one as well. So all you got to do is click here, fill this out. We'll get you the resources. We'll get you the link to grab a ticket for 8% Nation. And we look forward to seeing you guys in Dallas. It's going to be a blast. Elle and I are bringing our dancing shoes for Emerald City. We're going to have a really, really good time. So it's going to be a blast. So I know Cody's looking forward to it. If he ever gets to go home in between now and the conference.
Right.
So.
my wife got me dinner. She's like, hey, can we just hang out at the house tonight? I'm like, please. I just got home from 12 days. I've been speaking everywhere. I would love to chill by the pool. Okay. I did want to add a couple things really quick. Okay. Because of the Dennings, because of how much they're doing, the tickets the VIP tickets are normally $500, $497. They're $400 off. They extended the discount. They're like, hey guys, we simply want to give this to our audience for as low as we possibly can. And so VIP is only $97. So don't go bragging to the 712 people that already paid more than you. Okay. Help me out there, right? If you want to share with some friends and do your thing, that's fine. I don't want you to tick off a bunch of other people because you got the craziest deal ever. And then if you want to upgrade later, you can. VIP seat does come with the welcome party, the VIP party, and the VIP seat. Okay. Also too, it's crazy at $977. But we had one specific agent that I thought of last year that had $36 in their bank account. I want you to think about you right now in this moment and where you're at. We had an agent who had $36 in the bank account. They somehow found a way to get a ticket and come to this event. They just reported that they now have over $36,000 in the bank account. And that they attribute, there we go, they got the bell. They attribute a ton of their success to this expanding their vision. We're going to be passing out these bracelets at the conference that says expand your vision. And this will expand your vision 1,000%. We have a ton of top clients. This event is 2 to 3x their business in a matter of 6, 12, 18 months. And I truly hope it will be for you. So make sure when you do show up and you do get a ticket, come say hello. We'll all hang out and have an amazing time. But dude, you guys are incredible, and I appreciate you doing this, and I appreciate you having me on tonight.
I appreciate you being here and appreciate you putting on such an amazing conference for everybody. And guys, like Cody said, we just want to make sure you get there. And as Cody says, get in the room, right? So we know how much value you get for getting there. We want to make sure it's as easy as possible for you guys to get there. Get there, pick up everything, get that bell ringing in your business with that growth. And so definitely we're going to do Q&A in just a second. So I haven't seen a bunch of questions. I feel like people have been chatting and participating, but haven't had a bunch of questions yet. So if you got questions, ask them now, because otherwise Cody and I'll make up a few questions to answer. But I think I I guess what we've all been saying has been making a lot of sense, and they've been picking up what we've been putting down. So
I guess so.
So with that, once again, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one more time. Els dropped the link in the chat as well. So just click jumpstartgonow.com/join-webinar/resources. Tell you it's easier to click the link than type it, or scan the QR code, and that will take you to here. And this is where you can just click, and we'll get you guys the resources, sign up for the ticket for 8% Nation. And we really look forward to seeing you guys at the event. Make sure to come say hi to Elle and I. You guys see us there. And of course, Cody, I'm sure will be welcoming everybody, as I saw him doing last year. And so we look forward to it. It's going to be huge. It's going to be great.
I did. Oh, actually, we do got a question. Okay, I have one idea I want to share that was that we're gonna. It's a surprise for this year's conference. But did you use a certain script when going door to door? I did. So I was selling final expense life insurance. Now this has been a long time ago. However, I kept it very, very simple. I would walk up. I would be waving at I would try to find like senior housing, by the way, where they had like 4 units per building. They have a lot of those in Missouri and some other states. And also in Missouri, if I get away from the bigger cities, they're less likely to worry about solicitors, right? And so, and I'm not saying you want a cold door knock forever. That's just what I did because I didn't know anything else to do. But I would walk by the window waving as if they were seeing me. Maybe they're not, but if they do, they may be like, crap, he saw me. I got to answer the door, right? Then I get to the door and I would crack the screen if they had one. I would stand in it. I would knock instead of ring the doorbell. They say neighbors knock and salespeople ring. So except for, especially, yeah, I guess they do because we've been ringing bells tonight, right? So I would knock on the door and they would come to the door and I would say, hey, my name's Cody. How are you doing today? Right? Big old smile. I would try to engage them a little bit, build a little rapport for a second. Hey, I'm doing fine. Who are you? Why the heck are you at my door? Right? Again, my name's Cody. I've helped several of your neighbors and locals plan for their burial and final expenses. I know it's not fun to talk about, but it's my job to help with that. I've got some brand new information that's related to this county that I would love to go over with you if you've got a couple seconds. Can I come in for a couple minutes? And then I'll smile and they may say, you know what, I'm busy, I don't have time. I'll say, hey, I understand. I truly only need 60 seconds, right? So let's do this. Is this fair enough? You can set a timer at the end of 60 seconds. If you hate me and you hate the information, you can kick me out and I'll happily leave. Sound fair enough? Can I have 60 seconds? And then that normally worked.
Awesome. Thank you, Cody. Tanya was asking, is streaming an option? Is there going to be any streaming options, replay options?
It's not yet. We're still working through some of that. So I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Yeah.
So the best way to make sure you see it is to be there.
That's right. That's right. And I've watched a lot of stuff online, but it's not the same.
It's you don't get to make those connections and relationships, which is one of the biggest things for coming to events. So you can't catch a Tim Tebow pass. So yes. You got to come in person for that. Allison asking, Cody, how many appointments should I be making every week to make 6 figures?
You need to set 15 a week if you're selling life insurance. My first 8 months, my goal was, and I would do cold calling with call nights and college kids on like Monday night, and I would do door knocking on different days when I didn't have appointments. And I was 20, I was going to college, so I didn't have a lot of time. I also think sometimes it's good to not have a lot of time. Like too many people have too much white space on their calendar, man. I would lose confidence too. If I had a bunch of white space, I would lose momentum, I would lose energy, I would get bored, I would start thinking terrible thoughts, right? Like the busier I am, the better, more productive I am, the more action I take. You need to set at least 15 appointments. You need to sit with 10 and you'll generally get to where you can sell 5. And so do the math backwards on what you need to do in your business. $100,000, let's just say, that's $2,000 a week. Well, what do you make per sale? You're like, well, I only make $400 per sale. Okay, cool. You need 5 sales a week. Yeah, you maybe made it a little more for chargebacks and non-takens or whatever, but we'll just easy math, we'll say 5. Well, what's your closing rate? Well, I'm terrible. I only close 1/3. Okay, well, you need to sit with 15. Well, how many show up? Normally 2/3, right? Because it's in person or whatever, right? Doesn't matter. You can do the math. Well, then you need to be booking 22 to 23 appointments a week. And the thing is, like, once I start doing the math and figuring that stuff out, I'll either find the resources through MFIA, and I'll work hard enough and put enough activity to book the 15 or whatever the number is, or I won't. And then some weeks I'll have great weeks if I do hit the numbers, and some weeks I won't if I don't. And so then I have nobody else to blame other than me. So that's the math behind it. Great question.
Perfect. Love it. Kim asking, how do you do final expense now?
Well, I am involved in a couple different agencies. You'll never hear me recruit from stage or on YouTube. I have 8 different companies that will do, lower 8 figures. I wouldn't say higher 8 figures. That's not true. But I've even had some big time business partnerships that have came out of just getting known and getting in the space and getting around people, which has been great. I think she also had another question too. What are your sales script, and is it online or what? I do have some stuff online. We have 2,000 videos for free on our YouTube channel as well, like 2,100 now or something. We've been doing it for 6.5 years. David did mention we've got 72 or 73,000 agents subscribed to our channel. So you could look up Cody Askins on YouTube. We put out videos almost every day. Like as consistent as they are with the Facebook group, that's us for YouTube, right? So we're hand in hand, we're tandem when it comes to that. I love YouTube. James says, how do you deal with small employee companies such as hair salons, auto shops, self-employed, etc.? I never worked a lot of B2B, but I know if I did, there's several local that I've trained and talked to. And I did a little bit of B2B. I actually had better luck door knocking businesses than I did calling them. Okay. So I called a lot because I say I don't have a lot of experience with B2B. I had a manager that wanted me to do it for a month. Like, just try it for a month. I'm like, all right, I'll try it for a month. This was like 10, 11 years ago. And I booked like 30 appointments calling businesses my first day. I mean, I had like the craziest, most simple script in the world, right? It was nuts. But I probably only saw like 3 to 6 of them, And so it's cool to book a ton of appointments and spend a lot of time, but if you don't actually get to sit with anybody, it doesn't matter. So I also like too, this is a different way of thinking. It's just kind of came to me. If I can do something like this is a group, right? If I can do something to a group, like you could do the same model here with webinars for businesses for insurance, right? Like my mind always thinks a little bit differently. Like how can I stop selling one-to-one and sell to many and change up my process? So hope that helps a little bit. I'm not the best B2B guy for sure. So.
But you're right. It's it's easy not to answer the phone or to hang up with someone, but it's a little tougher to turn them away in person when they show up in person somewhere.
That's right. That's right.
So love that. Definitely, no matter what, establishing relationships with the local small businesses around you and in your area is key, no matter what, whether they're doing business with you or referring you. So
that's right.
Love it. Excellent questions, guys. Appreciate that. So once again, as we get ready to wrap up, just for those that maybe hopped in a little late, haven't seen it yet, just going to highlight one more time to either click the link that I will drop one more time in the comments or to scan the QR code. And when you do so, it'll take you here. And then you just click send me the resources and we'll get you case study, the presentation resources, and most importantly, a ticket for 8% Nation where you can sign up and grab your ticket and come join us next month when we come out to Dallas, Texas and join Cody and 2,000 other agents at this conference that absolutely is a can't miss. So we're really excited. We appreciate Cody taking the time, even after
I love it.
12 days away from home to hop on with us. Yes. And so we'll let him get to his pool and chilling. Hey, and thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Can I do something a little special real quick? Can I add like an extra incentive? So here, we'll do this. The next 10 people, I should probably do 5, but I don't know. I like to do a lot. I just like to do more. The first 10 people that actually click the link and go through that, or have earlier, or do, I'll have our team, the first 10 people to buy a ticket at $97. I would love to get, I guess it's a special link, so I'll know. And I will have my team get you access to one of our courses or something for free. We've got like 30 different courses. And so you can pick from their courses and get an extra course for free for the first 10 that buy an 8% Nation ticket for $97. So cool.
Guys, this is completely unplanned. This is just Cody doing Cody things. So make sure to go grab those. I'm sure we actually had some people sign up a little bit earlier today. So if you want to make sure you're one of the 10, go grab them now and take advantage of what Cody just dropped for you guys. So awesome, Cody. Really appreciate it.
You got
Value first, guys. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys being here. We hope to see as many of you guys as possible next month out at 8% Nation. I love meeting people face to face, getting to see you, getting to chat, even better in person than online, and look forward to having a good time as well as learning and growing together. So thank you, Cody, once again so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for coming and attending, being a part of this community, and we'll see you guys next month.
Appreciate you. Thank you.